Good morning, good morning, good morning. You the boys doing? Where you been? Oh, man. Sorry, guys. Hey, no lies. Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. It just created a live with no chat. This damn YouTube hates me. Huh? What, Papa? Hey, Mother Goose.
There was two puppies. They were trying to get me snuggles.
They were trying to get you snuggle buggles?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And then they were trying to get me your baby's snuggle buggles.
You are my baby snuggle buggles.
Yeah, and they give me snuggles too.
I'm gonna go have some coffee.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you were back. It said no chat. Oh, yeah, I didn't mean to do that. I just got, I guess, a big thumb. Hey, look at me. I need you to focus on eating your breakfast, okay? Look at me. Look me in my eyes. You got juice, and you got waffles, and you got your fruit, okay? I'll be right back. I'm gonna have a cigarette and drink some coffee, okay? If you need anything, come knock on the door. So, kind of an interesting night last night, wouldn't you say? We certainly had good morning, Amanda. Sorry, I'm being a little quiet. Look at this, guys. You got to see this. This is so cool. Darth Vader pumpkin. Wow. Wow. Hey, Ghost. Wow. Look at on the back here. Just wow. Luca. Thank you, Tarantula. So, oh, shoot. It is so chilly out this morning here in Texas. Boy, oh boy, I mean to tell you. So, kind of interesting events last night. Good morning, April. Blessed. Yo. So, no thanks last night. Sweet baby Luca. No thanks. He lied to Don and Candace last night saying that he was Josh to get them on the horn, right? Yes, you're welcome. Yeah, and you know, I've been just really monitoring that situation via Griff because I feel Griff has a great handle on, you know, what it is he's saying, and I just can't. Like, I just can't bring myself to waste any moments of my life watching that I will never get back. I mean, I've got a beautiful baby boy who's 3. There is every reason in the world to never waste time watching No Thanks. But I tell you what's so interesting about that is that we are now to a point where to get the biggest and baddest next high, No Thanks has to do the most unprofessional stuff that's available. Hey, Simply Wicked. Like, I really feel so sorry for Doug because, you know, the semblance of a life he lives is just a fucking nightmare. Like, Like, nobody likes Doug in real life. I hate to say that about the man, but let me just say, like, the guy's a fucking clown. Let me tell you what, he had a pretty smart fella in Griff. Doug had a guy like Griff around, right? He even had a gal like um, Chasing Justice. Now, she's a smart gal. I might not prefer for her company, but she's a smart gal. And so Doug had some real, he had an A team. He had some hitters around him. He had an A team of some fucking hitters. And this fool just, nothing's important. You know what? Let me tell you what. I spend most of my time dealing with my son. Doug's got two sons. You don't never see him with them. Ever. He's always outside of a fence and a baseball diamond, but like he can't. No. He don't mess with his kids like that, okay? So for those that do know, and for those of you that don't know, I had a baby with a lady that wasn't shit. She wouldn't even let me see the baby. Now the baby is 16, and all of a sudden it's my fault, right? So they want to have a kid, keep you from your kid, and then tell you about how you're not shit and how you haven't done nothing. Oh, fuck. You got me messed up, right? So, the Scott H cycle, it's almost completely ate its own head. Or its own tail. That's what I meant to say. Like, that situation is eating its own tail. Like, this fool he is completely focused on Tiffany Marie. Like, who cares? Like Tiffany Marie is like a terribly cultured Midwestern girl, right? There's a lot of them, right? She is not an uptown girl. Let me tell you why Tiffany Marie has to be single, because there ain't a man in the world that would allow that bitch to run her mouth and bring that much heat to a house that a man lives in. It just ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. I ain't pissing nothing. What you talking about? I was making coffee. So it's really interesting the way that this thing is just fucking devouring itself, right? Scott H is just completely. Yeah, she's living in that uptown world, for sure. For sure. uh, so, whoop whoop. Man, got a bunch of doobies. I don't feel like putting one together. It's too early. Yes, Miss Wednesday, after this shit with Doug's show, though, I didn't see him. And Doug makes my eyes burn. Holy shit, Doug makes every woman's eyes burn. It's just the vodka coming off of him, right? Like, holy shit. Anybody go to the gas station and get a little gas on your hand, and then when you get in the car and you don't have anything to wipe it off with, you find yourself smelling it? Like, what is that? Like, kind of the same thing with Doug, except for not that attractant that gasoline has. Guess where the IP address is coming from since my account got hacked? Tennessee. Got someone looking deep into it. I can't believe that happened. And then you're scared to light a smoke? Hell yeah. Let me tell you what. Let me get fixed up real quick and then we're going to get to it. I'm not on my computer this morning because every time, and I do want to apologize for last night for just jumping off so abruptly. I've stayed at my folks for a couple of days here. My pops just got back from France, and so we're just doing family time. And my wife is up north with the daughter unit, and so last night, the baby was having a real trouble getting to sleep, and he went down a couple of times, and then got back up as soon as I came outside to talk to you guys, and that's why the first live was late, and that's why I jumped off abruptly, just because he's first. I love all of you, but you know how it is, right? So if I didn't put him first, y'all wouldn't love me like you did, right? I'd rather burn diesel to rage. Who ah. Anyways, oh Rage, thank you for your donation. Honest Rage made a donation yesterday to me. And let me tell you what, like, none of us out here are slapping the fat hog on the ass. So for Honest to do that, it's just a beautiful thing, right? Like, just a lot of selfless people, right? Wakey, bakey, 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 eggs and bakey. Yeah, Rage, went out of her way and made a donation, and it wasn't a donation. It it was more like a tithe, right? Like she tithed, you know. It was just her way of showing me her sacrifice. Hooah! So thank you for that, Rage. Anyhow, light cable for a day and a half, but everything fixed with power people. Good. I'm sorry, Ghost, that I've been just kind of distant in the Facebook, but you understand. I'm back in the saddle though. So Doug looks like his apartment and smells like farts. He needs a shower. You ever been to jail and when you get out, people are like, "Holy shit, you stink. You need a shower." And then you go in and you take 2 showers back to back. That's the way I come home. I don't play. Don't you know MRSA is a real thing? So, yeah, he looks like he is a fucking fart. Thank you, Randy. The last American hero. And guess what? That hero has to be a fucking monster. You gotta be a monster in order to keep these motherfuckers at bay. You do. You want me to tell you what the selfless people are trying their best to call out the selfish people, as we should, right? So, what's really sad is one of the lab's very first videos that he put out about this whole shit show was, I called CPS on the wells, right? Let me tell you, the lab, if you had a little more business going on at home of your own, you'd have your own kids to tend to, and you wouldn't have to tend to somebody else's kids, huh, lab? You need to see Upchurch video about a Popeyes in Tennessee. Hey, Squall Tit. Man, fuck Ryan Upchurch. I don't even know him. But I don't even still know what he looks like. Never heard none of his country rap music. But man, fuck him. Because he came in with some real hightailing bullshit, right? So that's just what's going down. Now, Jody Sue. Jody Sue. I love you, girl. I got love for you like a real Christian. Voices. My sister from another mister. So, Jody Sue, I love you, girl. We've been talking for a week or better in Facebook. And let me tell you what about Jody Sue. Jody Sue is like the rest of us. What, Papa? No, they're with Papa. Well, they're trying to wake Papa up. Okay. Well, because they have a thing they do every morning, and they get Papa up, and then Papa takes them outside, and then they come back in, and Papa feeds them, and then they have to go outside and go potty again. Grandma's at work, honey. Grandma had to go work today. Grandma had to go help at the hospital today because they needed very smart nurses today. And so Grandma said, I'll go. What? Nope. Grandma helps people that are sick. She helps them get better. Yes, your grandma has made us all better. She's put your every time your daddy gets shot or stabbed up, your grandma puts me back together. Our grandma, that's what your grandma does. She is the master at making us all better.
She makes me all better when I.
Yeah.
Daddy, gonna do like Spider-Man?
I love Spider-Man's. So we had a deal.
Batman.
Let me tell you how great God is. Let me take a moment to tell you how great God is. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. So we go to the store. I made a deal with my son, and it's one of those deals where you say, anything you want, right? So we went to the store, and it was one of those anything you want days. So we just went down the superhero aisle, and we just loaded up on superheroes, right? I mean, we just did the fool, right? I mean, we just got every single guy they had, right? And so we're just a walking up to the cash register, Big Daddy and Little Luca, and we get up to the register, and let me tell you what happened. I pull out a phone loaded with money. The young lady, she rings up the purchase, and it was $67.17 worth of superheroes. And I say, okay. And she said, cash or card? And I said, card. She does the beep, beep. And so I just go to lay my phone on the thing because I got Apple Pay. So I go to lay my phone on the thing, and she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, the Apple Pay doesn't work? And she said, oh, we don't have Apple Pay. And I'm looking at him, and there's a line of people behind us, and I'm like, and I don't, I keep my ID on here, I keep my COVID card on here, I keep everything on here because I can't keep a wallet. 42 years old. You hand me I'm the anti-wallet. Oh, so the lady's like, she was a very, very beautiful young Hispanic girl. And I could tell she must have young babies, right? So I'm like, we got a $67 purchase sitting here, and this one here, like I've told him anything. And the girl said, you must have made him a deal. And you must have told him anything. And I said, I did. And she said, she looks around and she's doing all this. And she reaches across the lane around the plastic shield. And this lady, this young Hispanic girl, hands me her debit card. And she said, the code is 2202. And I put the card in there, and I put 2202, and it said accepted or transaction approved. And I'm looking at her and all these people, and I hand her her card back, and she said, "Have a good day." And I'm looking around, and I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean, have a good day?" And she's like, "Go ahead." And I'm like, "No, there's no way." Hey, 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 back.
Dad,
What?
don't tell puppies
Well, I don't want them to knock over Grandma's coffee that she left right there. So I'm like, "What is your Cash App?" And so she's looking around and she's like, "No, it's okay." And I said, "Listen, I don't have, I mean, we live in a pandemic.
Dad?
I don't necessarily have $67 at the drop of a whim to play for." Yes, sir.
I'm going to go get Cody to come snag on me.
Okay. I don't necessarily, we don't just have $67 laying around to just pay for a whole shopping cart of superheroes, right? So the girl gave me her Cash App, and I sent her the 67 plus a very nice sacrifice, a thank you. And you know what? I did some consulting the other day on a case. I'm not going to go. Yes, sir. That is Sissy. Remember, Sissy's red, Colty's yellow. See how she's red? She's orange. See how that girl's orange? So she's orange, and then he's white. So tell her to get up there with you. You want her up there?
Yeah.
Sissy girl.
Sissy girl.
Get up here. Come on. Come on. Luca wants to snuggle buggle. Come on. Come on, sissy girl. Come on, sis.
There's sissy girl. I'll look at them.
Oh, Coty wants some too.
Yeah.
Coty bear. Coty bear.
Dad?
I love you.
Yeah.
Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Brother bear. Oh, brother bear.
I got my own stock.
You got your own dog?
I got own stock.
On stock?
No, I got white dog.
She is red,
Yeah, I got red.
and he is yellow. Yep, they're brother and sister.
Yeah,
They're brothers and sisters. That's your auntie. That's Aunt Sissy and Uncle Coty.
But they're not
They are. There are people. That's Grandma and Papa's babies. That's their kids.
And they're my puppies.
Those are my puppies.
Now my puppy. I told you. I thought puppies can make you sneeze all the time.
He got me. He got me. What do you say to that?
I got red puppies.
It's like, Daddy, how come we can't have a puppy at home? Because they make my nose itchy, son.
Daddy,
Yes, Papa.
those puppies were so big to me.
Yep. Did you finish your waffles and fruit?
No?
Can I get you to go do that for me, please?
I better go get the puppies.
No, you better go eat breakfast like Daddy asked you.
I better go let the puppies out.
No, I'll let the puppies out when they bark. Go on. Go. Oh, I said go. So, I did some consulting a couple of days ago, and you guys know I've been anti-money. But the dogs are messing my nose up. I feel like Scott H. If I have to do it one more time, I'm going to blow my nose. I'm not going to sit there and sniff. You know what? I'm going to blow my nose right now. I'm not going to sniff in your ear. Hold on. Scott H. It's just that easy, bro. Look. Like, bro. They make whole boxes of that shit. You see it? Like whole boxes. Let me show you something else that's kind of cool, Scott. Scott, check this out, bro. I'm gonna make an Amazon wish list for Scott. Does anybody want to help throw in money? I mean, they've already fucked up a whole dump truck full of money, so what we need to get right here is this for Scott. I just got one for my son. So what you do, Scott, I just used it, but you can see, Scott, there's a booger in it too. So that's proof of concept, right? So what you do, Scott, is you take this shit right here. It's called Little Remedies, and you just shake the fuck out of it, and then you put it up your nose, right? Then you let it sit there for a minute. You get the little residuals that drip down, but then you go over here, and this is how we do leak. This is how we do Luca, Scott. We go, Luca, your nose is really runny and nasty, okay? Really runny and nasty, okay, Luca? So Scott, come here, Scott. Scott, lights, camera, and action, Scott. Look, Scott, I mean, if you just want to pull that shit from way back behind your eardrums, you can put that fucker into Porsche mode and it will just suck the freckles off the back of your fucking neck. Quit playing me with your nose, sir. Good God. The nose is the very reason why I can't listen to you. I listen to you and you trigger me to want to do cocaine, sir. Would you please get something with your fucking... Look here, Scott. We can't see your face. So here is one of the things you could do, Scott. You motherfucker, you. Watch.
Dad. Dad.
What?
I jump up here and then she jumped up here.
Cool. You know the African-American gentleman that's always, somebody will do something really hard in a video and then he does it, but he does it really easy and he goes, Scott H. Scott H. It doesn't even change really the way your voice sounds. We can't see you anyways. So why don't you just put some fucking nose and shit in your nose? I would say there's pill crumbs in that keyboard. At the very least. Like he could tip his keyboard over and have a fun weekend. Holy cow. Anyways, moving on from his nose. Good God. Hold on 1 second. Scott, the name of that fucker is Wat-Olt. Wat-Olt. Man, get you one, bro. Hey, look. Batteries were included. So it's just out the box, ready to fix all of your problems. Okay, moving on to Doug. Doug's is easy. Doug just needs some fucking antabuse. Moving on to the lab. The lab. If you would just so as step outside and go to the grocery store or go to the gym, anything, you'd meet some real friends. And then you wouldn't have to go to the bottom of the barrel with the likes of Doug. Q Carlock. Q Carlock, she said in the beginning, we understand at the very least a third of any dollar bill that comes in other than Cash App and PayPal, we'll have to pay a tax on it. Even that money, hoo-ah. So what Q Warlock says, thank you for that, Incognita, you beautiful soul, you. Q Carlock says, oh, when I say $1, I mean $1. So if they cut 30%, 40% right off the top, I'm gonna make it back $1. Just like the wonderful voice of reason with a beard that I am damn near envious of, Mark from Prairie Boy 77. He said, every dollar I'm gonna make it a dollar, all the way up to 1,000 of them. Boom. And when he got the donations and they came in and he had to pay the tax and 1,000 knocked it back down to 700, he put the money back in. He put the fucking money back in. Hoopla. So, we're looking at, what was the final tally here? The final tally, where are you going? Pee-pee time?
Yeah, I don't know which way he's crashing.
This way, follow me. Hold on, guys.
Daddy, I need to go to the restroom.
Papa's sleeping.
Which way?
Hold on. Come here.
Wait. Daddy, you can look at Papa.
Yeah, we do not want to wake up Papa the bear.
Why?
Because he's the bear.
He'll get us?
No.
What he'll do? What will he do, Dad?
Shake that thing. Shake it. There you go.
Daddy?
Can I get you to go finish your breakfast?
Yeah.
All right, go. Okay, sorry. Anyhow, so Q has a bunch of dollars, to make up. Yeah, so what we're looking at now, guys, is we're pretty sure that a lot of this money was procured illicitly, right? So when you go to court or you hear things on TV and they're like, oh, 71 counts or 7,100 counts of wire fraud, that into a whole different kind of jail clothes and a whole different kind of mess hall and a whole different kind of classification. That puts you somewhere they call Club Fed, okay? So the interesting part about Club Fed is they got a process that you got to work up in order to get that time shaved off, right? So you got to do 75% of that federal time before you can start working on a reduction. That's a problem. The other thing is if the feds ever just to come up knocking on that door, you got a problem already, because the feds, they don't come to ask questions. They come to hear what you got to say and see how bad you're going to lie. And then that's going to determine what they put on you. So I say be very mindful of this. It's Club Fed. The shit you got going on, Q, because this is the issue, love. There's a limit on wires. There is a limit on wires. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know what the limit on wires are, but there is a particular way that wires are created in the way that they move, in the way that they operate, right? You can go pretty much anywhere and hand a bunch of fucking money to a bank and say, hey, yeah, I need you to move it. They're federally insured, so when they move it, it's just a move, right? Let me step back. The bank doesn't become your co-defendant if you go in with $1,000 check. You know how it used to be back in the Gap. Go in with $1,000 check. You're like, hey, I need to cash this. You know, it's you signed over or whatever, and they used to cash it, right? Well, the bank gave you the money. Does that mean they're in concert with you? No. What that means is they're a federally funded, federally insured institution. Their business is to make money on your money. Let me step on back. So we've got $58,000 worth of reward money sitting in a Civis Bank in Tennessee. You do know that the way federally insured funds work, anything federally insured it is immediately put back onto the NYSE. Anybody know what that is? The New York Stock Exchange. And so essentially, when you put money into your bank, they are making transactions, they are making loans, they are making money on your money. But it's always there for the recall. When you need it out the account, boom, it's there. But they've made money on your money. So we've got an exploitative effort that was very successful in the scam of it all. In the scam of things, I mean, the scheme of things, it was very successful in procuring money, right? You also see cocaine dealers that are very successful in procuring money. Now, I'm not saying they're the two, but you will find the two of them funneled into the same housing classification at Club Fed. Oh, so I would say like a pinch or a jam or a pickle is the thing that some people find themselves in when they make a mistake. Q Carlock, love, you're in the clutch. And I don't mean like, I mean like the clutch, like the clutches. Hooah. Girl, you got a snake wrapped around your neck right now. And I hate it for you. I really do. Because let me step back and tell you something. I don't think Q Carlock's a bad woman. I think that she made a mistake. See, I think that there's a lot of people, I think there's a lot of great people in the world who just have bad habits, or they've made a bad decision, or any number of things. But ultimately, they're still way deep down in their toenails. They're still good people, right? Now, moving on. Chase 423. I have a remarkably close relationship with Chase 423 ever since I called him out about the merchandising. I have a grander understanding. You understand? I have a grander understanding of the situation that Chase is currently trying to navigate. He's currently trying to navigate a scenario in which, in his attempts to be uber helpful, people are taking advantage. Clearly, people are taking advantage. I mean, they are, and we'll get to you, Mystery Angels. Haven't forgot about you. You guys remind me if I forget about the beautiful Mystery Angels, right? So, Chase, this is the issue. Chase, and I haven't forgot about Jody Sue either. Chase evidently was doxxed. I saw it. He was doxxed on Jody Sue. Now, what led to the ordeal with Jody Sue and Chase was that somebody had sent a card or a gift card of some sort. And Chase was supposed to, bring it on forth. Well, I don't know the specifics of what happened, but it did. Something happened, and when it happened, it just sort of went off the rails, right? Which I find very interesting because Jody Sue is playing around doxing people that ultimately were helping her, right? Jody Sue, and I ain't got a problem with Jody Sue. I'm just calling her out. Jody Sue, you doxed a man behind a Walmart card that you didn't get. You didn't even get it. And that was the problem. You doxed a man behind a Walmart card. Put his whole business out there, right? Lord knows you don't like it. Lord knows anytime somebody puts something out about you, Jody Sue, You automatically say they're putting your kids out there and they're doing this, that, and the third. Let me tell you what, Jody Sue, you put your own kids out there. You made a live with your own children there. It is not like we secretly or Squall secretly recorded you and then leaked that to the internet. No, ma'am. So what Jody Sue is trying to do clearly is Jody Sue is trying to use someone's past mistakes. Chase has a past like all of us. You've seen it now, right? So she's trying to use his past against him the same way she's trying to advocate for the Wells in her own weird way, right? But they have a past too. So she's picking and choosing whose past she wants to dox, right? Now, let me tell you this. I've doxed many a people during this case, but it was relative to this case. And the doxing always straightens up some behavior. Always. She did not even dox that man in the name of Summer Wells. She doxed that man in the name of a Walmart gift card. That's hideous, Jody. Absolutely hideous, Jody. Do you really think that the rest of there's now this is the other thing you got to remember. She puts up that stuff on her Facebook. Nobody interacts with it. 2 or 3, 4, sometimes 8 people will interact with those videos she does. And let me tell you what. Then it just makes its way to YouTube, and that's what makes her famous. Where you going, boy? That's what makes her famous, right? So stop giving Jody Sue airplay, right? Mute her. Mute Jody Sue. M-U-T-E. Jody Sue, your usefulness has run out, love. You no longer have anything of any evidentiary value. If you did, and I'm not tearing you down, ma'am, I'm just calling it what it is, right? So you ran out your usefulness in what you were able to relay to us and contribute to the plight. Now you're making it about you. We don't care, Jody Sue. Like, it is very clear by your Facebook that you still have mucho contact with Voldemort. Very clear. Because from day to day, you can see the posts about narcissist this, narcissist that. There'll be a whole trend of narcissist posts. And that's when Jody Sue tries to go back, even just through a phone call, but she tries to test the water again with her toe, and it's still the same. It hasn't changed. And so then she's back out with the narcissist. There's no way Jody Sue has enough time to fix her own life, build a house, because she's building a house, if you didn't know, which is very interesting because it's a prefab house. Ray, she just needs to leave other people alone. But I understand what you're saying. You got to mute her, right? So Jody Sue has all these things going on. She's a recovering DV survivor from a narcopath, Voldemort, and she just keeps poking the bear. Because if she doesn't poke the bear, there's nothing tomorrow to talk about. Okay. Jenna claims to have taken non-existent threats from me and sent them to the police, and I ain't heard a damn, I ain't heard a whisper yet. Now, cracking cases, sir. I looked up your background, sir. I am not fucking impressed. I am not impressed, okay? Not impressed, sir. I am upset about your situation, sir, because the things you told me about the length of your sobriety and such, they're not true. Because 3 years ago, you were in deep trouble. Deep trouble. So I'm tired of all the cheats, the liars, the scammers, the fucking junkies, the liars, the alcoholics, like the snifflers, the concealers, the tax evaders, all of them. Like they're all here. Every last one of them. Look at BTS Mike, pedophiler saying his mom is dead, trying to garner money from offline. Like this is just it's the worst of the worst, right? And now it's back to the point. Like let me tell you what, man, I am disappointed in Don and Candace messing around on Ziggy's channel. I'm just gonna say what it is. I love them, but y'all are pissing me off with that shit. Y'all are pissing me off with that shit because you know what? I don't ask you to come on my lives. I have offered it to you as a resource occasionally, but I don't have to lie to you to do it, sir. I don't have to do any of that stuff. But Don and Candace, you guys got to stop going where you feel like the most grains of sand are. We are way past thinking that these YouTubers are important at all. Do you see Ziggy on the news? Do you see so on and so forth on the news? Now, back to cracking cases. Sir. A lot of the offenses that you've been involved with have had to do with alcohol. They were precipitated by alcohol. And that was like, you never mentioned to me that alcohol was an issue for you. Never. Like you have quite a few charges that are related to alcohol. Scam. So for you to even take 2 beers or 1 beer or to the Wells house, it doesn't matter if they were already drinking. My friend, you brought just enough. You didn't have to bring 100 gallons of alcohol. All you had to do was bring enough to get it going. You had enough fuel to bring over, it's only one, Scam. You know, right? You've been in AA and NA. One is too many, right? And 1,000's never enough. Hooah. You didn't bring 1,000. I'm certain if you'd have brought 1,000, that in itself would have been overwhelming and they'd have been like, whoa, we don't want any. But you brought 1. That's 1 too many. 1 is never enough. 1 is never enough. 1 is never enough. 1 is never enough. 1 is never enough, but 1,000 is too many. I don't know, sir, that I'll be able to get over that with you because let me tell you what, Mr. T, Brad, it's a lot of people saying, oh, Benny and Cam, you guys got to get over it. I won't. I can't. Because before it was just about some YouTube stuff. It's not about YouTube anymore. It's about how your personal choices and decisions. Where are you going, sir? Let me tell you what, Cam, in Scallywag. Scallywag worked at a rehab. That's where she met Scam. So stands to reason that out of all people in the world involved in this thing, Scallywag, who worked at a rehab, seems like she'd have been the one that brought the book. What book, Betty? It's called The Big Blue Book. Oh, I used to keep one right in here. It's not here anymore. Big Blue Book. Hooah? Scallywag. Scam. Why don't you go over there and hold prayers and AA meetings? Huh?
Yeah. That's what happened.
Your papa's up.
I know.
You probably woke him up. Go on.
What?
Why didn't you bring an AA book? Why not? So we know that finding sobriety.
Daddy,
What?
Papa with my back.
I think so. Why don't you go that way?
Daddy, the Papa,
Yep. There's Papa. So, you know, we know that sobriety is rooted in spirituality. We know that sobriety is rooted in spirituality. We know that sobriety is rooted in spirituality. So to pray with them in a circle and then crack a beer is like jumbo shrimp. It's called an oxymoron. So the devil for Don and Candace live in the bottom of that beer or that liquor or that shot or that mixed drink. Do you realize that when you bring beer to people that are struggling with addiction, after you pray with them and then you drink with them, you have completely undone everything you just did? Don't you know that when you leave after bringing them beer or just when they drink on their own, you want to know who deals with them at nighttime? Me. You want to know who talks them off the ledge at nighttime when they've had too much to drink because they're feeling hopeless? Me. I'm the one. I'm the one that has to listen to Don when he's just in the most desperate state one man could be. Guess what? Do we expect Don and Candace to ever stop drinking if YouTubers just keep bringing it? Scam, you don't have to bring enough alcohol for him to get drunk. You just have to bring enough alcohol for him to get the taste and want to go to the store after that. That's all you got to do. So if someone's drowning in the sea and they don't want to get on your boat for help, what do? You could motor away and leave them to flail all on their own. But what Scam and Allie want to do is they want to throw a 50-pound weight in the water on top of you and say, here, handle that. When you're in the sea of abduction and despair and uncertainty, and there's just nowhere to turn except for God and sobriety, let's throw weight on their necks while they're trying to stay above water. And it's for super chats, and it's for billboard monies, and it's for all the things that have kept you so distracted from looking for the who, when, or where. Now you're trying to just absolve yourself from all of responsibility for illicitly doing or unethically doing anything that you've done, sir. Guess what? If you took beer to an AA, they'd run you the hell out of there. Somewhere in your fractured mind, you thought that there was some camaraderie in you sharing an alcoholic beverage with an alcoholic. Like you were going to do that action and get some of God's work out of it, right? Or was there something bigger? Do you think you can get Don and Candace drunk and they're going to tell you something new that they've never told anyone else, right? That's right. So what side are you on? Because let me tell you what. I don't see no thanks sending no beer over there. I don't see AB sending no beer over there. I don't see Mr. T sending no beer over there. I don't see Jody Sue sending no beer over there. I don't see Chase 423 sending no beer over there. Nobody, I mean, even the worst ones, Chris McDonough and all of his shameful behavior as a retired homicide detective, he didn't even bring beer over there. But Scam and Allie did. That's a big problem. See, what happens is, Scam and Alley, when you give them alcohol, they do shit like end up on Ziggy's channel or end up being lied to by Don, or but not by Don, by the lab and by No Thanks. That's what happens when you take away their wit with alcohol. They lose all ability to be operable, to be precise, to be instruments of advocacy and activism. They lose all of that right out the window with the first sip. They don't have to even get all the way through. Don't you know, Scam and Scally, that as soon as they take that first sip, they're off to the races. And there ain't no stopping it until it hits a stationary, inanimate object. It's got to stop. Whether that be the police, the CPS, nasty, dirty YouTubers that continue to infract and offend against his family. Scam and Scallywag, you don't get it. Scally, I think you do get it, or you used to get it before you've been manipulated by Scam and the way he thinks. These people are so easy to take advantage of. It is unreal. And here we go. Let me tell you what, I have someone in my family that is suffering with a severe alcoholism. I would never, ever, not one time think about bringing that person even mouthwash. Now, let's put that same person that has an extreme addiction issue going on in their life, and you take their kid away from them. Inorganically, you do that. And then we expect for those people to stay dry, not drink. Impossible. Possible. Don't you understand that it's the first sip? It's never the last sip that's a problem. The last sip means you're on your way to redemption. That's what the last sip means. The last sip means you've quit, even if it's for the period of time you're asleep. The first sip is always the fucking problem. Thank you for providing the first sip. How many times have you provided the first sip? Is what we're seeing at nighttime a perpetuation of the first sip from YouTubers during the day? I don't know. I got to question it. Man, it's 100 of you in here. Hit that thumbs up. I'm serious. I don't ask you for no money. All I do is come here and try to drop jewels. Please hit the thumbs up, man. If you don't like me, hit the thumbs down. It still affects the algorithm. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. Let me tell you, for instance, Don, yeah, occasionally he drinks. He gets up and goes to work, though. He works a physical, laborious job. He works an alpha man job in the blue collar world, right? It's a very blue collar, very alpha, just Don, right? Like, I hate to say it, there's some parallels in my toughness and my thickness of skin that Don has, right? Yes, I'm human, and I'll say I also have commonalities with him, like I have 2 legs, I walk bipedal, I have 2 arms, 2 eyes, all of that. We are very much the same. Kicking up dust. I can't exploit these people. I cannot exploit these people. It is not in my design to be exploitative in any way. If you guys even look at the way that I title my videos anymore, I don't even put Summer's name in it. I don't have to. Don't have to put 18 tags and hash. I just say sorry and it gets the play. So, where you at, bub? I'm almost done.
That's all right. No. He's fucking up. I'm still waking up and I can't quite understand what he's saying.
So yeah, that's my issue with Scam and Scally. That's my issue. Like, I can't get over that, right? Like, in the way that you guys, the way that their rebuttal to that was, oh, it was just one. That's how I know you've never went through the program and been successful all the way, because you would know the first one is the most dangerous. I have integrity. I do have integrity. I haven't always had integrity. I used to be a piece of amphibious turd for most of my life. But when it clicks and it switches, I don't know how to turn it off now. You want to know what? For me to turn it off, I'd have to have somebody like Scam and Scallywag in my life, and I'd also have to have a missing child in order to throw it all away and put something in my arm or put something in my nose or in my stomach that is going to send me off to the races. Just one. That's it. That is it. Let me tell you what. When you're in AA and you have a sponsor, you know what they tell you? I'm here for you. Anything you need, you can call me any time of day or night. But call me before you drink. Don't call me even after you've had one sip. I can't do nothing with you. Right? So after one sip, don't we know that in order to get drunk, you have to start with the first sip, right? You can't just be sober and then go straight to drunk on the last sip. You got to get the first, you have to procure the first sip from somewhere. I've never provided one thing for those people to smoke on, sip on, nothing. And I've spent time with them in real life, right? So, thanks for helping them procure the first sip. Hooah! Thank you for that. We are so appreciative of all the work that we're trying to do in a righteous, integrity-filled environment where we're trying to culture, we're trying to culture simple living. We're trying to culture an environment for them to grieve, right? Because you can't grieve when you're drunk. You can't grieve if you're high. The only way you can grieve is with a sober mind pointed due north and tear ass. Let me tell you what, at this point, those are my damn people. Those are my people too, Scam. And guess what? I don't appreciate you undoing the shit I'm trying to do, Scam. I don't appreciate it, Scam. I've put more time into this than you have. And you're undoing it with your simple country bullshit. Fucking A, Cam. I was doing this before you on this case, and I'll do it after you. Because after you fuck this one up, you don't really have a whole lot to offer this community. I agree with the rest of I agree with Scott H when he says, what the fuck are you going to do after this, Cam? I mean, what the fuck is Scott H going to do after this? Not a fucking one thing. One thing. The very first case you fucking idiots been involved in, and you fucked around with the money, and you fucked around with the alcohol, and you fucked around with people's addictions. Guess what? This means you're not fucking welcome on the next one. Hooah? You're not fucking welcome. Yeah, Don and Candace trusted Cam and Allie because they came across as Christians. I think they planned it to hide their nefarious intent. Fuck yeah. Don't they know that Timmy Etherton is the very one that has started all these fucking vigils, and Cam and Allie start talking about his being a fucking seance? You're a clout chaser, bro. You and Scallywag. It's gross. It's gross. You want me to tell you how Scam? You want me to tell you how I know Scam isn't in the sobriety community like he says? Because he brought beer over to Don's. That's how you know. Hooah? That's how you know sobriety don't mean shit to Cam. Hell no. Scam, fuck me. He probably called and said, what's your flavor, neighbor? Because I don't want to bring beer you won't drink. You understand me? It's It's child's play. It's fucking child's play. Hey, Marissa Sanchez, man, what you got going, man? I don't know who you are, but I don't like I don't like the past couple of. I don't know what 10:06 is. I mean, I know what it is, and I know what Dakota is too. Tread lightly, my friend. Don't fucking play with me this morning. And guess what? If I'm wrong, then I apologize. But you done put in a few things. Man, look here. I ain't got time for that shit. Put her out. Put her out. Man, she's putting my fucking address and shit online. And my kids' names and shit. That's what she's doing. 10:06, that's an address that's familiar to me. And Dakota, yeah, that's a name that's familiar with me. Put that bitch out. Fuck you mean? Yeah, I know what she's doing and I let her make it. Fuck you, Marissa. Yeah, put my kids out there, put my address out there, all that shit. You better watch that shit, bitch. Because the problem is the person, I won't even try, I'll just punish who I think it is. Yeah, hey, Marissa, I just thought of something real funny this morning. Your mom. Hell yeah. I'm sick of that. Anyways, guys, I got to tend to the little one. So I'm going to get to it. I'll get to the rest of the cast and characters later on. I love all you guys individually. Remember, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.